Hey everyone, welcome back to TechStrong TV's live coverage of RSAC from San Francisco, Moscone West. Sol Rashidi is here. She is the CEO and founder of Executive AI, and you do so many things, Sol. Great to have you on TechStrong TV. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to brag on you a bit because I LinkedIn stalked you.
Okay.
You have 10 patents.
I do. Working on the 11th one right now.
You're a best-selling author. You're a top 50 women in tech. I love that. I get goosebumps. And this is awesome. Forbes AI Maverick of the 21st century? You're literally a maverick.
I've been lucky. Far from it. I think with the pace of change and how everything's going from, we're all just barely keeping up.
No.
But I was fortunate enough to get a few labels and titles along the way.
Well, that's fantastic. Talk to me a little bit about Executive AI. You are the founder. You're the managing director. This is a consulting practice?
So it was interesting because it happened completely by accident. I've always been a C-suite, a part of really amazing Fortune 100 companies, like some of the largest firms that you've ever even heard of. Like I've always represented them as the chief data officer, chief data and analytics officer. I was the enterprise's first chief AI officer, appointed back in 2016.
Okay.
So I've always served these companies, and I've always been brought in to build the capabilities, scale the capabilities. And so that's kind of where a lot of my practitioner experience came from. And then I left enterprise, and I discovered that, I helped IBM launch Watson back in 2011.
Wow.
And so from 11 to 2015, my job was to fly around the world, work with these enterprises, help them establish their AI strategy, their use cases, and help them deploy. No different than how everyone started in 2023. So I'm just watching the world kind of go, I'm like, yeah, we did this, and we made that mistake, and we did this, and we made that mistake. But no one's calling out their mistakes. No one's calling out the lessons learned. And
They're so valuable.
I always say you learn from the mistakes.
Absolutely.
And so, fail forward, fail fast, but you learn. So why should people have to go through and repeat what a slew of us, quite frankly, went through nearly more than a decade ago?
Yes.
So Executive AI was created because I think there's a lot of C-suite executives. I think there's a lot of leaders. I think there's a lot of companies that are learning and earning, meaning they're learning on the fly.
Right.
But they don't necessarily understand what the bottlenecks are. And I say in the world of AI, you've got data, infrastructure, and talent. Infrastructure is all the tech stacks, the tools. It's not about GPUs and CPUs and workloads. We've solved that. Data security is a major hurdle right now. And then talent preparation, because the way we're going to market with artificial intelligence, and I saw this back in 2012 and 13, it's we're going to do AI to increase productivity and capacity, which by default means we can run leaner. And that is never the case. So the goal isn't to increase capacity so you can displace employees. The entire intention is how do you give them time to reflect and realign on the bigger business problems. So it was supposed to be kind of a side hustle so that I could actually help other organizations go through workforce preparation and data security that then turned into kind of a thing of its own.
I love that. Sometimes serendipity, right?
Yeah.